In your conversations with clients and colleagues, you might sometimes agree and you might sometimes disagree. In this video, I'll give you 6 phrases that you can use to express agreement and disagreement when talking to a business partner, client, or colleague in English. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll throw in a few phrases that you can use to express partial agreement. Hi, welcome to Real Estate English Academy. If we haven't yet met, I'm Jenny, and today I'm going to give you 6 phrases that are perfect for letting someone know that you agree or disagree with what they are saying. These phrases can be used in spoken conversation, for example, at meetings, trade fairs, negotiations, and appointments with clients. And they can also be used in written communication, like emails, memos, and notes. Let's start off with expressing agreement. Phrase number 1. That seems reasonable. That seems reasonable is a great phrase to use when you want to express your agreement with a proposal or a suggestion that someone has made. It's also perfect for expressing agreement with deadlines. For example, the contractor you're talking to might say, "We could have the kitchen floors finished by next Tuesday." How might you respond? That seems reasonable. Go ahead and get started. Or you might tell your client, "I would recommend putting your property on the market for slightly more than market value, as competition in the neighborhood right now is fierce." And they would reply, "I like that idea. It seems reasonable." Phrase number 2. I can accept that. I can accept that is a great phrase to use in negotiations. It's also perfect for expressing agreement with any terms and conditions that might be attached to a deal. Let's say you're negotiating a lease for an office property. The landlord might say, "I'd be willing to grant the tenant an incentive of 3 months free rent if they put in new windows throughout the unit." And what might your answer be? Okay, sounds good. We can accept that. Phrase number 3. I have no objections to that. The phrase, "I have no objections," is another way to express agreement. This time, however, the emphasis is placed more on the fact that there's nothing that has been said that you disagree with. It can be used in many different situations, including casual settings. Let's say you're at a trade fair, for example, and the person you're talking to makes a suggestion saying, "How about we continue our conversation over in the lounge? I've heard it's very comfortable and they offer refreshments." You might say, "I have no objections to that. Sounds great." What you're actually saying is that you think going to the lounge is a good idea and that you're on board. Now let's talk about expressing disagreements. Phrase number 1. I'm afraid I can't accept that. In English-speaking cultures, a lot of importance is placed on being polite. There are all sorts of ways to express negative thoughts, emotions, or disagreement in a polite way. The phrase, "I'm afraid I can't accept that," is one polite way to let the person you're communicating with know that what they're proposing is unacceptable to you. You might use the phrase, "I'm afraid I can't accept that," in negotiations or in other situations where someone is offering you something that you feel is not sufficient or not the right fit. Let's say you're interviewing for a job and you really want to earn more than at your previous job. The person interviewing you says, "We can pay you what you were making at your previous job." What might you say in return? In this case, your response might be, I'm afraid I can't accept that. I need to be paid a monthly salary of at least 10% more than at my previous job. Phrase number 2. Unfortunately, we don't see eye to eye. Now, first of all, the expression to see eye to eye means that you see things the same way as the person with whom you're having a conversation. The phrase, we don't see eye to eye, means that you have a different perspective or opinion on the matter. By adding the word unfortunately, you're showing your regret that you have a different opinion in order to be polite. This expression is particularly effective when you want to show that you're not willing to be flexible in the matter. Your colleague might say, we need to postpone the project deadline. There's no way we can have it done on time. You have a different opinion and are confident the project can be completed by the deadline. What would you say? You might say, unfortunately, we don't see eye to eye on this. We can get the project finished on schedule. We just need to put in some extra hours. Phrase number 3. I'm afraid that is out of the question. The phrase, I'm afraid that is out of the question, is a good one to use if you want to not only disagree, but refuse whatever is being suggested. This is a good one to keep in mind if someone offers you something or makes a proposal that you're definitely not interested in. A tenant might say, I think it would be a great idea to paint the outside of the entire office building pink to match our company logo. And you might respond, I'm afraid that is out of the question. The building needs to blend in well with the other developments in the neighborhood, and none of them are pink. As a bonus for sticking around, here are a few phrases that you can use to express partial agreement. Phrase number 1, that might be true, however. That might be true, however, is a good phrase to use if whatever the person you are talking to says is based in fact, but you have information to add or a different perspective on the situation. Let's say you have an appointment with a business partner at a trade fair. They begin by saying, it looks like the market is going to take a big hit. Take-up has been down for 2 quarters in a row. Your response might be, that might be true. However, the shortage of supply is severe and demand is still going strong. If enough developments are completed soon, we could see market activity boom. Phrase number 2, I see what you're saying, but. When you use I see what you're saying, but, you're letting the person that you're talking to know that you're listening and you understand their point of view, but that you have a different take on the matter. For example, your colleague might say, I think it's important to exercise at least 5 times a week to stay in shape. What would your response be? You might respond, I see what you're saying, but I think it's more than enough to exercise 2 times a week. Phrase number 3. I tend to agree with you, but. I tend to agree with you, but is a good phrase to use if you generally agree, but feel you have something to add that might contradict what the other person has just said. Your boss comes into your office and says, I think we should get rid of the casual dress policy here at the office on Fridays and wear business attire all week. What do you think? Your response might be, I tend to agree with you, but I think that casual Fridays are good for employee morale. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button for notifications. And click on the link in the description below to take our quiz. Thanks for watching. See you next time.